Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MSNBC, my snarky news broadcasting channel. All of the news, none of the pants. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I have been joined by my gorgeous co-host, Wren from Wrenelations and Shitlords Anonymous.
Hey guys!
And to let you know, her channels have been up for longer than a week, so she's good. As well as Ishtar from her own Twitch streams. And, well, right here where she's playing herself on MSNBC.
Hi guys, how's it going?
And how is it going, ladies?
Great.
Before we get into it, shall we say hello to everyone in the chat?
Yeah.
Do we have to?
Yes.
Why?
They like when we acknowledge them.
They do give us money when we acknowledge them.
Yes.
That's true.
Speaking of money, that's a very good segue, Red. You can donate to the stream by using Streamlabs or Super Chats. They will show up in a fancy little decal on the screen. As well as, if you want, there should be a join button right underneath. That allows you to become a member. You get to be part of monthly patron-only hangouts, which I will be having one, possibly Thursday. So,
Antoine,
yes.
we have a money-making opportunity already in the chat. There are two people who already want me to take this robe off. I'm thinking you should set a price.
$1,000.
The problem is you want it to be attainable and buildable.
No,
Oh
I
no,
don't.
trust me. He knows what I'm wearing under this robe.
I really don't want her to $1,000 right now. One super chat of $1,000. Well, one Streamlabs of $1,000.
Yeah, say super chats take.
I don't want them to take 30%. Cinder Shadow was here first, so he got to wait the longest. No, there will not be milkshakes. This is a milkshaking-free zone. Mitzi's here. How's it going, Mitzi? Ben C. Ben C is always here, which is much appreciated. Let's see. Cosmic Dork Den, how's it going? And we also have Ray Stone. Ray Stone is here. Allie. Good evening, Allie. She's got her milkshakes trying to bring all the boys to the yard, and unfortunately, they're running the opposite direction.
Ouch! That was not nice.
Tom Leach is here. How's it going, Tom? Zah is here. And I think that's everyone in the chat that I've seen.
You have acknowledged people, so we can get to the articles.
I have acknowledged people. So, how was your week, ladies? I would love to hear.
I got to sleep in Monday.
Sleeping in is always good. I got to sleep in today, but not for a good reason.
I did because no more other job. Which means no more crappy hours.
No crappy hours is always a good thing.
Ray, if you sent me an article last week, I'm sure I saw it. I want to double check. There's a lot of stuff that gets sent my way. I make sure I try to keep track of everything.
Ben, I'm just saying, if you donate $1,000 tonight, I'll take the robe off for the stream. And maybe I can talk Antoine into at least a partial picture of the full thing privately.
Mm.
The super chat is for Sarah to slap Antoine. Thank you for the $10, Ben C.
How's it going, clever Mick generic name? It says fucking tornadoes. I'm sorry. Apparently he's not the only one that's having weather issues. Sparky is having weather issues. Apparently he's got water really, really close to his home. Like 10 feet away.
Oof.
Yes.
Not good.
I know my friend Zero Doxy, who's a streamer on Twitch, she got stuck in the Denver airport overnight because of snow in Denver.
Well, yes, that's what happens.
You would think Denver would know how to handle that shit? but apparently not.
Oh, well, because it's at a certain point, states start putting away all the snow shit to take care of things because they think, okay, it's April and it's May and it's June. We don't have snow now.
Yeah,
We don't need this.
I want to point out this whole global warming thing. Where's it getting warm? It's cold.
Can I have warm weather, please?
It is definitely unusually cold here in Washington. I'm still running the heater, and it's middle of May.
And I remember last year around this time, it was very nice, and usually the doors and windows were always open. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit of a switch. Where's this global warming? Do I need to go and get a bunch of hairspray and just spray it right out into the right out into the sky?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Aw, Cinder Shadow. Way to break his little heart.
Don't Sparky the joke, Cinder. I know
Cinder,
global warming doesn't mean the... Oh, God. I know it means extreme climate change. I already have one person that likes to kill jokes on my shows. I don't need one in the chat, too.
Ooh, someone's getting poofy.
Already.
Oh, don't start, ladies. I have a couple stories that I'm pretty sure is going to get a couple poofiness from both of you.
We don't do poof. We like the tails.
Yeah, you're the one who's the cat.
Okay, so then it would be Tata shaking.
Tata shaking.
Yes.
Tata shaking, so we're happy. Now that could be donations.
Raz says, sucks to be you. I'm in Northern Ontario and I was golfing in shorts and a t-shirt. Yes, but you're not in a real country, so it doesn't matter. All right.
All right, Ray, I will look for the article if you first sent it, and I will find it.
All right, so I know we did not start with Florida Man last week. We started with science, so we're going to start with Florida Man this week. Do you want me to go straight for the gusto and get the one that's in the title off the radar right now?
Go for it, because...
Sure. No, Mitzi, you guys live in a made-up country.
I see.
Canada is not real.
Canada is one of those countries that's like a loft apartment over a really good bar. No one knows it's there and no one really cares.
That's a good description, actually.
Yes, I know. That's why I said it.
I'm impressed that you could come up with something like that.
God damn it. Alright, do you two know what the General Lee is?
A compliment.
Do you know what the General Lee is?
Yes.
Ishtar?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you do know what something of pop culture is. I'm shocked.
That's a pop culture thing? I thought you were talking about, like, the actual historical figure.
No, he's talking about the pop culture one.
The Dukes of Hazzard. You don't know about the Dukes of Hazzards?
Oh, kind of. I mean, I never watched them.
Okay, but she does kind of know the idea.
You know it's a Dodge Charger that's all orange with a flag on top of it?
Yes.
Okay, that's all that matters. Because Florida Man knows this too.
Uh-huh.
There it is.
Florida Man got one.
Florida Man runs from cops in General Lee Dodge Charger after setting fire to his wife's home.
At least he's making a break for it in the right car.
Is he gonna jump over a broken bridge?
There always was a broken bridge in every episode, wasn't there?
Yes, there was.
Do you want...
Hi, Safi.
How's it going, Safi?
Hi.
Do you know that 1976 Dodge Chargers, there are no more in the market at all? Yeah. You can only find them busted, broken down. Because Universal, who was the production company of Dukes of Hazzards, bought them all up, spray painted them all the same color, and destroyed every single one. Yeah,
now it's the few that are out there, they're cobbled together. That's why their value is actually, they're one of the few cars that the older they get, the more valuable they are. Because there's so few of them, and that you basically,
What's funny is that the Dodge Chargers, from a 2019 Dodge Charger, you can take the chassis off and you can put one of the old ones on. It's the same frame. They will fit it. You can get a brand new engine, everything like that, and you can just take the chassis off and put an old school Dodge Charger chassis on it, and it'll be just fine.
Interesting.
It's one of the few car things that I do know. So, let's see what this Florida man did, shall we? I mean, he does look like the kind to own a Dodge Charger, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That stark white complexion, that, cowboy hat-esque... Wait, no, that looks Muslim. Never mind.
Yeah, I was going to say, though I keep waiting for a black guy to own one of those cars. Just for the confusion of what people are saying. That's racist. Is it racist if a black guy owns the car?
No, he's taking it back. How's it going, Sparky?
Hey, Sparky.
Hey, Sparky.
Alright, a Florida man is behind bars after police say he set fire to his wife's home and led deputies on a high-speed chase in a Dodge Charger painted to look like the General Lee from Dukes of Hazzards. Click Orlando reports that Oswald Pereira is looking... Oh, so he wasn't Muslim, he was Spanish. My bad. Can't say Spanish. I meant Cuban. He's Cuban. They don't like it.
Stop with the whole misracing or miscountrying people, please.
Sorry.
You're gonna get us banned.
Anyway, the Cuban is looking at charges of arson, fleeing and attempting to elude law enforcement, resisting without violence, and a few counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Only a few. Police say Pereira got into an argument with his, we presume soon-to-be ex-wife, and set the house ablaze before taking off in the generic General Lee. I'm sorry, there is nothing generic about the General Lee. At some point during the chase, Pereira ditched the Dodge in favor of a GMC Yukon, because apparently he couldn't find a gorge to jump over, which is where the video coverage of this chase picks up. He then led deputies on a chase into the next county over, where he was found hiding in the closet of a mobile home.
Oh, of course he hid in a mobile home.
He's Cuban trailer trash. It's so quaint. It sounds like a plotline ripped right out of the famous TV series, except for the fact that Pereira had burns on over 15% of his body and was taken to the hospital after his arrest. A level of gore far beyond the mild fisticuffs that Bo and Luke Duke instigated over the years. Thankfully, the suspect was the only one hurt in both the blaze and ensuing car chase, though 2 dogs had to be rescued from the home. Pereira is a former horse jockey that neighbors say was very nice and loved his job. So not only was he Cuban, not only did he decide to set ablaze his soon-to-be ex-wife's home, he's also a midget.
He is ticking all the boxes.
He has a General Lee, but he's Cuban and he's vertically challenged.
Yes.
That definitely can't say anything.
This Florida man is just... I mean, if he would have been on meth, he would have ticked every single box, and this would have gotten like a Florida Man award. They also say he loved his family and children, and then he must have been very distraught to set the fire. This isn't the
totally distraught.
This isn't the first time he's had a run-in with the law, however, as he was reportedly snagged for theft earlier this year and for domestic battery in 2018. There is no word on his current condition or if police have other charges lined up related to the incidents. So, yeah, that's... Tom Leach says, tell this guy to save some pussy for the rest of us. Damn! Hello? Am I the only one here?
Maybe.
Uh-oh. Wren has got her American flag on.
Oh dear.
It's comfy, and I don't have to wear a bra. I don't have to wear a bra with it.
The thing I'm wearing is altered too, but it's kind of pulling at the back of my neck. I'm not real wild about that part.
Our ratings just went up.
So I just have it's comfy. Plus, it's that fake bathing suit material thing.
Oh, so it's ridiculously comfy.
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of bathing suits, we'll go on to cringe. You have a bathing suit story, don't you, Wren?
Yes, I do. A woman left looking like a Smurf after discovering a laughable problem with a 60-pound bikini. And that's the price, not the weight of the bikini.
I was going to say, that's an awfully heavy bikini to be wearing in water.
Nope.
I mean, I was going to say, you two talking about your halter tops and not wearing anything underneath them, our ratings just went up, and apparently so did most of the men in the chat.
You're welcome.
We help.
Uh-huh.
A woman left stained blue like a Smurf after relaxing in a spa break thanks to her 60-pound, $6 amount, bikini.
Ishtar, you're our money counter. What is £60 in American?
Give me a second and I will find out.
This woman named Alyssa bought the blue and gold sequin set from Pretty Little Things and was completely shocked when she noticed the dye stained her skin. She hand washed it when she got home and couldn't believe it. The water turned bright blue. The 22-year-old contacted the company, who pointed out that the tiny but crucial detail of the small print, you can't actually swim in it.
Then why the fuck would you buy the bikini?
Online description states it's for poolside posing.
Oh god. It's for Instagram models.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Basically, she told the Mirror online, I was in a spa when I wore it, so I stained blue like a Smurf. I was just shocked. Really, it was funny looking back. And then I hand washed as they suggest, and it just poured out. It smelled awful, so I was concerned then. It's only for poolside posing, and they'll charge you a £60 for a set. Absolutely laughable. And yeah, it's like £30 per piece, but it's only
£60 in American is $76.30.
Ladies, would you pay $77 for a bikini that you can't wear swimming?
No.
Hell no.
The only thing poolside I'll pay a little money for is maybe the cover up. Like if there's a really, really cute beachside cover up that's like maybe a little over $50, I might look at it and go, yeah, I'm going here. Maybe, yeah, I'll spend a little extra money. I'll splash out for, the cute thing that goes over my bathing suit.
The cover up?
Yeah.
I was going to say the only thing that Ishtar will spend money on poolside is the pool boy.
If he's cute enough.
Yeah, but that's.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but the difference in the pool with the bikini cover up is you might, like, if you're on vacation, you might wear that bikini cover up to go into a restaurant or something, and that's why I would go, okay, I'll spend a little money on this. But if the bathing suit is unable to be worn in the water,
Fuck that noise.
It says it says fabric and care, 100% polyester. Please note, due to fabric used, color may transfer. There is no may about that color transfer. Jesus Christ. It's bright blue. It's the fake blue that they used in Jaws the Revenge in Universal Studios that dyed McCain's hair blue. That's what happened. Yes, that's smurfing stupid.
Oh,
so one of the quotes says it's also mad how Instagram influences have led to these sort of products being produced in mainstream fashion.
Yeah, well, it is ridiculous because they wear it, and of course, what's your first thought when you see a really cute bikini or bathing suit on Instagram? Oh, I kind of want that. That would look really cute, but we don't buy things like Instagram models do. Admittedly, I have bought bathing suits thinking, oh, I can do like a little photo thing with this. But they're actual bathing suits I still use that summer. I still wear them in water.
And you don't pay, $70+ for it.
Oh God, no. The most I've ever spent on any like single piece is 30, but that was a one-piece bathing suit, and it was a quality thing.
Cinder Shadow says at least you could dye your hair at the same time.
True.
Yeah.
Upper and lower.
She has since gotten an apology and a refund from the company.
I would hope so.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
I'll give you something.
I'm hoping so.
All right, let's go. I mean, since we went from kind of ridiculous to stupid and cringy to what you got for us science-wise?
Mum finds bizarre fish with rows of human teeth washed up on the beach.
Oh, you're just going for the gusto as well, aren't you?
Yes.
I followed your cue. For once. The mom and toddler were baffled by the odd-looking fish with eerily human-like teeth, which they found on a beach in Georgia, USA.
That's terrifying.
It is. I'm trying not to look at the picture. A mom walking along the beach with her toddler was stunned to find a fish with a mouthful of eerily human-like teeth and said she'd never seen anything like it. Malia Burrows, 31, encountered the freaky fish while walking with her child on the shores of St. Simon's Island in Georgia, USA. We were just walking along the beach, and it was washed up far from the shoreline and caught our attention, she said. Originally, I thought it was just a plain old fish. Nothing exciting, but I still wanted to show my 3-year-old. Then, as we got closer, I saw all the teeth. I was shocked because I'd never seen anything like it.
That's horrible. That is absolutely horrifying.
What she'd found were the remains of a sheep's head, a fish that uses its strange teeth to crush shrimp, clams, crabs, and mussels. The sheep's head also has a reputation for stealing bait from fishermen. Malia from Charlotte, North Carolina, said it had really thick, large scales on its body, which was interesting. It had an entire mouthful of teeth. They weren't pointy, but blunt like an animal's. Behind its first row of teeth were buds that filled up its entire mouth. I'm not sure what they were, but I'm guessing more teeth. She continued, it freaked me out a little bit, thinking that something like this was swimming in the same water we were, and how bad it would feel to get bitten by it. Every person I've shown the pictures to has been shocked because they've never seen anything like it. Sheep's head begin to develop teeth when they're just 4.5 millimeters long, not even 1/4 of an inch. And they have a full set by the time they're 15 millimeters long.
Zar says this is a Chernobyl fish.
Possibly. They can grow up to 76 centimeters long and often reach 1/2 meter in size. They're typically found along the Gulf and Atlantic coast of the U.S., and Sheepshead Bay in New York is named after them.
Well, I didn't want to sleep tonight, so thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. You can actually say thank you to Wren. She's the one who found it.
I do article digging for her.
Yes. By the way, how's your alcohol supply? Do I need to refill you?
Yeah, I have like 2 bottles left.
All right. We'll hook you up.
Yeah.
Well,
I have to earn my boost somehow there, Antoine.
I understand that, but just imagining going swimming and you're underwater with, the swimming goggles on, and you turn around and that thing's coming at you. Nope.
Especially if you have external bits that are tender and chompable.
Oh, yeah.
You leave my external bits alone.
I don't want anything to happen to your external bits. I like your external bits.
Well, I'm glad, because the only thing I can think of is that fish would look at me and go, you know what, I kind of want to eat your eyes. I wonder what your tongue tastes like. I don't want to do that. But, unfortunately, there is a Florida man that does have the same aspirations.
Oh?
Yes.
We're listening.
I know. Hold on. I'm getting to the button. God damn it. Florida man threatened to behead officers and eat their eyes after parking lot argument.
Oh, I see your segue. Very good.
Thank you. Tom Leach says, don't let Antoine fool you. He loves bites on his bits. Not from that thing, I don't.
So you like it being bitten?
I don't like it being...
In general?
I like it being placed in someone's warm, wet orifice. How's that? A Florida man is accused of threatening to kill 6 police officers following a suspected road rage incident and now faces 8 criminal charges. Ken Edward Freeman, age 50, of Titusville, was detained last Thursday at approximately 8:30 p.m. by deputies from the Melbourne Police Department and taken to the Brevard County Jail, records show. Freeman remains in custody pending trial. Bond was listed at $18,500. Florida Today, a daily Brevard County newspaper, citing an arrest affidavit, reported yesterday that Freeman had told the officers that he would cut off their heads and eat their eyes and tongues. The suspect was arrested outside a sports store at a shopping mall. According to the arrest affidavit, an altercation began as Freeman followed another man into a parking lot after the pair allegedly made rude hand gestures at each other while driving. Freeman, who was allegedly carrying a large knife, after leaving his vehicle, approached the man, punched him in the shoulder, and then held one side of the knife to his ear. "I'll cut your fucking head off in front of your family," Freeman said, Florida Today reported. After 6 Melbourne Police Department deputies responded to a 911 call in the area, he made threats to cut officers' heads off and eat their eyes and tongues. He looks like such a nice young man, doesn't he?
So nice. So nice. And no.
He's so nice and meth addicted. Inmate records filed by the Brevard County Sheriff's Office released the suspect's mugshot, which we just saw, and confirmed the charges as 1 count of assault with the intent to commit felony, 1 count of battery, and 6 counts of threat with death, serious bodily harm to law enforcement officers. Aside from the first allegation, the remaining are considered to be misdemeanors in the state. In Florida, aggravated assault is a 3rd-degree felony with penalties of up to 5 years in prison or 5 years probation and a $5,000 fine, according to the local law firm Hewson and Weber. The legal experts explain on their website that misdemeanor battery is a 1st-degree charge with potential penalties of up to 1 year in jail or 12 months probation and a $1,000 fine. Last week in Florida, Kyle Jones, 30, was arrested in Martin County for allegedly attacking his partner with a cheeseburger. We talked about that one. Pulling her hair and kicking her down the stairs. In another case, dancer Shanta Bowles was charged with aggravated assault after allegedly hurling a coconut at a man who was recording outside her Key West strip club. And the name of that man was Failure Accomplished.
The coconut story.
Yes. I did not know that actually made national headlines. I thought that was a nice little bit at the end for the people who know Failure.
I covered that story earlier today, and I was like, the more I read the Minions, like, yeah, that's Failure. It's like, no, really? Failure made it into a Florida man story?
Yes. Yes, he did. Because, of course, Failure made it into a Florida man story.
Hey, at least he was the person being attacked versus the person attacking.
Her eyebrows and nose is the Tesla logo.
Hey, everybody knows that the Tesla logo is a cat nose. Elon Musk confirmed it.
All right. Well, do you have anything?
Cringy?
Well, yes, cringy.
All right, we're gonna go with well, you know how there's always those personalized photo gifts that you get?
Oh, God.
Sometimes it's like personalized little mugs. Lord knows I do that around Christmas.
Oh, like, God, is Antihero in the chat? Antihero's not in the chat, right?
I don't think he is. So
Good.
I'm sure I'll tell him.
Good, because I don't want this from him at all.
Now you can make personalized pants, socks, and as the picture shows, underwear. And I'm just gonna read.
No, Safi, I'm not afraid. I'm terrified. There is a huge difference because knowing Antihero like I do, he would think it was funny to do this and then send me a pair.
Yes, he would. I'm always looking for the perfect present for people I buy for. Whether it's a birthday gift or an anniversary treat or a Christmas present, I always want to get something that'll make them smile. And more times than not, I want to make them laugh out loud. There are plenty of jokey gifts that make people laugh and are good to include as extra side gifts to lighten the mood. And I think I found just the perfect one because you can now print your face on pants. Yes, you read that correctly. You can now print your face on pants. You can package them up and send them to a loved one. Funny or weird, maybe a little bit of both, but they'll certainly be a conversation starter. These personalized pants with a face on by Pretzi Box are equal parts strange, hilarious, and brilliant. Essentially, you just upload a picture of your face, and you will see a preview of what your pants will look like before adding to your basket.
Question.
By pants, I mean underwear.
Question.
Yes.
Do they have different cuts, or is it just like men's unders?
There is. Let's look at Pretzi Box. There's a link for his thing.
How's it going, Mask?
There's the socks. Let's see what else is. Let's see for him.
Mask, you missed the teeth story. It was about a fish with human teeth in its face.
Terrifying. Antoine will never sleep again.
Let's see. He has socks. It seems like for men, it's only the socks.
Yeah, but I'm talking about for me.
That'd be for her.
Because I would totally wear underwear with Antoine's face on it, just so I can say I'm sitting on his face all day.
But I'll bump.
A little slow on the uptake there, boss.
They're not linking the underwear.
Aw.
Let me see. No, here it is. It is. Oh, it looks like only if you're in the UK. Because it's not available internationally for me.
Good. Because unfortunately, Antihero would do it.
Yes, he would. But yes, you now they have that underwear that is. It's 21 pounds, like essentially 22 pounds. But you could put your face on underwear and send it to someone as a present. I can't imagine if it's a friend that present goes down well.
Inhuman, that means they are $28.
Inhuman? Are you saying that the other countries aren't human?
No, they're not. At all. Especially you British people.
Someone is saying put the fish head on the underwear.
No. No.
God, no.
Well, if you don't want to get laid, that's the perfect way of doing it.
I'm sure there are, Safi.
I was going to say, Safi says there are American vendors that can make these for you. I'm sure there is. I mean, I could probably find... no one wants underwear with my face on it.
I just said I do, so I can sit on your face all day.
Or you could just cut out the middleman and actually do it.
You have to go to work sometime.
And I don't think your work would appreciate that.
It might be a little awkward for everybody.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about everybody else. I'm just worried about breathing every once in a while.
Yeah, no, not an option. You're a cybernetic creation. You don't need to breathe.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Ali says my pussy already has teeth. I don't need underwear with creepy fish heads on it. There's
TMI there, Ali.
There's a horror movie with that.
Yeah.
You have what is it? Vaginita dentata?
Yeah.
Is that what you have, Ali? Are you warning everyone? Maybe that's why she's always so thirsty.
Well, yeah, because most guys, if you took off underwear and they saw that, they wouldn't. They'd be too scared to go near it.
Gives a whole new meaning of eating at Arby's. Alright, let's go with some science.
Science time.
Ishtar.
Sorry. I was debating. Giant shark to follow up the fish with teeth or spooky? We're going to go with giant shark.
Giant shark, alright.
An enormous great white giant shark is cruising towards the Outer Banks, but there's nothing to fear. That headline seems like a lie to me, especially since it goes on to say that this shark is longer than a Volkswagen Beetle, hanging out near South Carolina. Yeah. It is 2,000 pounds. Are you done?
Yes.
Okay. The non-profit organization OCEARCH, OCEARCH, reported May 9th that a 15-foot great white shark dubbed Luna was over the Charleston Bump, an undersea bank about 80 miles southeast of Charleston, South Carolina. A smaller shark, Caroline, who clocks in at 12 feet 9 inches, was hanging out closer to shore at South Carolina's Edisto Beach.
So what they're saying is do not go swimming in Charleston or anywhere in South Carolina.
Basically. According to the Charlotte Observer, Luna was headed northward to the Outer Banks, though of course there is no telling what a 2,137-pound shark is going to do next.
Whatever the fuck it wants.
Yeah. Caroline, the other shark seen near South Carolina, took a turn back south and was off the coast of Georgia as of May 13th, according to OCEARCH. The shark's movements are known because OCEARCH captured, weighed, tagged, and released them. Luna is the second largest shark ever tagged by the organization. She was caught October 2018 using a thick fishing line near Lunenburg, Nova Scotia, and the event was captured on video. Scientists named the shark, the first mature adult female they'd ever tagged, in honor of the people of Lunenburg. The tags affixed by OCEARCH convey information on location, depth, temperature, and light levels using satellite and acoustic signals sent to ocean bottom receivers. The researchers can also take blood and tissue samples when the sharks are first caught. Since being tagged, Luna has ranged up and down the east coast of North America, ranging as far south as the northern Bahamas. Great white sharks range widely in search of food. And the non-profit's tracking of great whites has shown that they seem to cluster off of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and the east coast of Florida in the winter, a region dubbed the North Atlantic Shared Foraging Area. In other words, Luna's presence along the Carolina coast is no surprise. Despite their omnipresence...
I'm sure it's a surprise to whoever she sneaks up on.
Well, it says right here that despite their omnipresence near populous coastline, sharks rarely bother humans. In fact, shark attacks went down in 2018 compared with the year before, and unprovoked attacks were remarkably infrequent, comprising only 66 out of 130 cases worldwide.
Who provokes a fucking shark?
Idiots, usually drunk ones.
I mean, honestly.
Another 15 of those attacks were unconfirmed or unlikely to be that of a shark, and one actually happened inside a public aquarium.
Where's the story on that one?
I don't know, but there's no link, and I really wish there was. The United States had one fatal shark attack in 2018, resulting in the death of a 26-year-old man named Arthur Medici near Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Cod. It's Cape Cod.
It's spelled Cape Cod here.
Yes, but you should know it's Cape Cod.
I know, but I'm reading what they wrote, and they say it's Cape Cod.
Well, they're stupid.
The attack by a great white was the first fatal shark attack in Massachusetts in 82 years, according to National Geographic.
Well, let's be fair. Any attack by a great white is usually fatal.
This is true.
Oh, Tom Leach.
Okay, Raz says, I'll find it, but a dude stripped naked and jumped into the great white tank at an aquarium. There is no great white tank at any aquarium because great whites cannot be held in captivity. Safely.
It wasn't in the U.S.
It wasn't in the US?
It was in China.
Well, they're stupid.
Dumbasses.
Yeah, a great white will die in captivity.
And it wasn't great whites. It was some kind of shark, one that can be held in captivity. Apparently, they had it at a mall.
It was at a mall.
I covered the story. It was someone who jumped in because during feeding time they left the hatch open and he just jumped in.
Because that's the first thing you think of when you see a feeding shark is I'm going to jump in there and cuddle with it.
I'm surprised.
I would. Oh, here we go. Yes. So, I have it. Raz sent it to me. This one was in Toronto.
Oh, it's Toronto, Canada? Oh.
Alright, hold on. Let's cover these because it's a mixture of stupidity, Florida man, and cringe. So might as well. He's not Floridian, but might as well be. Yes, a man swam naked in the shark tank at Ripley's Aquarium in Toronto. One man took the touch tank concept a little bit too literally at Ripley's Aquarium this weekend. In a video posted online, warning, full frontal nudity, so we can't actually show it, a man can be seen swimming in the shark tank at Ripley's. As he is exiting the water, he dives backwards back into the water. Security stand nearby looking unimpressed and telling him to cut it out, because Canadian. Stop doing that. Please come out. We can't do anything, we just have to ask nicely. Before escorting the man out when he finally gets out of the tank. Several onlookers were able to capture snaps on some video footage from other angles, so you can get the full glorious view of the incident. Luckily, Ripley's staff keep the fish and sharks very well fed, so the man was most likely in no immediate danger of being eaten alive. It's just the sharks that are now traumatized. At the end of the video, the naked man can be seen escorted by security. However, one Reddit commenter says he eventually got away. These reports are unconfirmed. Some suggest the man may have had a bit too much to drink. You don't say. The incident occurred during an evening Friday night jazz event at the aquarium where cocktails are served as guests roam the facilities.
Cocktails and sharks. Never a good combination.
Update. Ripley's Aquarium has released a statement about the incident. The man apparently dove into the tank immediately after entering the aquarium. He also fled the scene, but Toronto police are still looking for him.
This is what happens when you don't just employ a little bit of American brutality. I can guarantee you he wouldn't have gotten shot because the Americans would have yanked his ass out first chance they got, smacked him a couple of times, and told him he was a fucking moron.
Alright, so So, that was an enlightening story about Canada and why it's not a real country. Do you
America.
America, yeah. Do you remember I had some stories that might upset you too?
What is it?
Well, I mean, sometimes you just have to go to the bathroom, right?
Yes.
You can't hold it anymore. You just got to go. And for guys, we have the added advantage of being able to whip it out and pee wherever we want.
Assholes. Do you know how long lines for a girl's bathroom can be?
Well, I'm
and
sure
how much easier it would be is if we could just whip it out and pee anywhere like you.
I'm sure you wouldn't do something like this. 2 men charged after video shows man urinating on boy's memorial.
Veto.
No, we would not do that.
Veto.
All right.
Tampa, Florida. A man was caught on camera urinating on a memorial for a little boy who died from cancer at Underhill Park in Mays Landing. Police say Brian Bellis and Daniel Flippin, both 23 years old, are now facing charges.
I should hope so.
The memorial is for Christian Klopp, a 9-year-old boy who died of brain cancer 5 years ago. It's a disgusting act, Paul Bergen said. As a single parent, you think, what if that was my child? Desmond Walker said, that's when 2 men who saw the video immediately reacted with kindness. We went down here, came with gloves, sanitizer, and we got it cleaned up. It didn't take them too much time to clean up the mess, but they say it was meant to show the boy's family that the community doesn't stand for that sort of bad behavior. We come together. This is our community, Bergen said. When stuff like this happens, we come together, we take care of what needs to be done. And there's actually pictures of the man cleaning it. The memorial sits in an all-access playground, and it was built in Klopp's memory. Mark Klopp, Christian's father, took to Facebook to thank those who reached out in support of his family. He also wrote, I don't understand this world today. A friend of ours came over today to inform us that a video was posted of 2 scumbags urinating on Christian's memorial at his playground.
Veto. Just veto.
Can we veto him with,
Yeah.
I don't know, something heavy?
Yes, we can.
And dull. Let's not speed up the process.
Well, there was someone who was killed in the Salem witch trials by having 1 stone at a time put on top of him until he suffocated.
That was
Yes.
actually a common interrogation technique.
And at the end of it, he said more weight, and then let it all crush him. So
Because that is a badass.
Zar says they should try peeing on an electric fence. I agree.
Agreed.
Cinder Shadow says, I don't say this often, but I hope those sick fucks get cancer. So, okay. Do you want a more light-hearted story?
Yes.
Actually, defined as lighthearted, or you making the attempt and failing miserably?
Lighter than the last story.
All right.
Well, you both have been to Disneyland, right?
Uh-huh.
And the princesses are always there. You know,
Yes.
they always have the costumed characters running around. Have you ever wanted to just take Mickey's head and run for it?
No.
I've never let that go.
Well, this man tried. Florida man arrested for stealing costumes from a Disney park. He looks so happy about it. Look at that smug little face.
Yeah? He looks awful damn happy with himself.
Yeah, he does.
Orlando, Florida, a man going for the happiest mugshot on earth he's not wrong, may have been doing so because he allegedly stole from the most magical place on earth. Patrick Spikes, 24, is accused of stealing more than $14,000 worth of items from Disney parks. Investigators said he is a former employee of Walt Disney World. He's accused of taking costumes and other memorabilia from the back rooms at the Magic Kingdom and Epcot. The Florida man faces charges of burglary, grand theft, and dealing in stolen property for reselling the items, according to Orange County Sheriff's Office. And that is, that's that story. Lighthearted.
Mm.
That was better. He doesn't need to be vetoed. He just needs to be hired by Disney.
Doesn't he vetoed? He just wanted to work at Disney and he wanted the costume. So it's not.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I remember reading one of... I like to read these list articles on Facebook, and one was about, working for Disney. And someone told a story about how one gal she worked with made her own Cinderella costume and traveled from, Louisiana, all the way to Florida in said costume to interview to work there.
Did she get the job?
She got the job. That is a level of commitment.
Disney's going, you did what? Come here. You want to work for us that badly. God damn.
Yeah. That is somebody who's got her lifetime wish right there.
Yeah. What?
God damn it, Cinder Shadow.
Come on, Poospawn.
So Cinder Shadow tweeted out that he tweeted out the stream, which I do appreciate, but he tagged Antihero in it and said something you need to see. So of course Antihero said, "What is it?" And he responded with, "There is underwear you can put your face on them. Antoine is scared you may find out." This is the state of my chat. Let's go ahead and try and make Antoine rage as much as possible. God damn it, Cinder Shadow. Why do you all do this to me?
Because we like you to suffer.
Antoine is hilarious.
I don't have to suffer all the time. Can't you be nice every once in a while? No, of course not. Why would you want to be nice to Antoine?
You get to see boobs. Isn't that nice?
Alright, let's move on to some cringe, shall we?
Alright, I gotta go with the last one for the title, because the other two are funny.
Alright.
Girl's whore as dad gets herpes after she uses his razor and her mom leaves him.
Okay. Horror. I thought you said whore.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too.
I was going to say, this title is a completely different thing than what I thought if it was whore, and they're talking about the daughter. You've done those stories before, Wren. You need to warn us.
No. She did not. Okay, we'll say no incest was involved.
Alright.
Okay.
That's good to know.
A split-second decision to go to a house party over Christmas holidays has had some serious repercussions for one woman and her parents. Now, following her parents having been broken up, the young woman is torn over what to do. As she reveals in a very candid Reddit post, the conflict is down to her parents disapproving of sex before marriage, and a young woman in question being sexually active. She's worried she's inadvertently given her dad herpes after using his razor.
Question: how do you get herpes from a razor?
She shaved her lady bits, or the mustache above her lip, and it bled.
And she didn't rinse her razor?
It doesn't matter if razors can be gross this way. It could have been on the back of it.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
According to the university student, she was very shy growing up, but started to experiment a little after leaving home.
A little? She got herpes. She experimented a lot.
Quote from the girl: "I continued to be somewhat promiscuous, and a one-night stand turned into me getting herpes. Awful, but medication I take now really suppresses my symptoms and makes it very unlikely to pass it to others. Apparently not. During her third year, she comes home for the Christmas holidays." She continues, "A boy I had a crush on in high school was going to a party I was going to. I was given somewhat late notice and only had a couple hours to get ready.
She needed to make her lady bits look pristine. Someone else was going to be looking at them other than her."
Yes. I figured who knows what's going to happen, but I'll give my area a good touch-up. I realized I don't have any razors at home, so I use a disposable one of my father's. I'm rushing, I cut myself a little. I go to the party, we don't hook up, no big deal. A couple months later, she gets a hysterical Skype call from her mom, who drops the bombshell she's leaving her dad and they're getting a divorce. I FaceTime my dad. He answers, his face covered in a rash. He tells me he has herpes, but he never cheated and has no idea how this happened. We talk for a while. I'm confused and mad and don't know what to believe.
You gave your dad herpes, you horrible child.
2 weeks later, she suddenly wonders if she's responsible for her dad contracting herpes. She says her research has shown her it could be possible because she cut in blood when she shaved. Now her parents are living separate lives, and while she's terrified of telling them, she's desperate to put it right. As for her guilt, the NHS says passing herpes through anything other than skin-to-skin contact is unlikely.
But not impossible.
But that raises the question on how her dad got it. So...
the fact that her mom immediately jumped to that conclusion kind of suggests it is not the first time she's had reason to suspect her husband.
Probably not, but...
There's 2 things that could happen in that story. Either she bled on one of her dad's razors and he did get it, it's unlikely, but they're not saying it's...
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible with blood. I guess it would have to be he cut himself too when shaving, and the dried blood, but it's highly unlikely that it happened that way.
God.
Hi, Zach.
How's it going, Antihero?
Hi, Antihero.
You've been told why you've been summoned?
Yeah, apparently there's a company that makes underwear with the print of your face all over it.
I didn't want to summon you. I'm not the one that summoned you. It's the rest of the chat. They apparently want you to put your face on underwear and buy it and send it to me.
He's gonna do it now. You know that, right? Because the same line that went through Ishi's head of she wants to sit on your face all day is gonna go through his head.
Yeah, but it's not sexy when a guy says it. That was my... Why? Yes, why? Because they want to see me suffer. I don't know why. Not like I'm going to show people I'm wearing it or anything.
I'll see it.
No, you'll see it. You'll see it, but you'll never see me wearing it. Ever.
Well, it's not your style of underwear anyway.
Tom Leach has a good point too. Or the mom is cheating and thought this was a perfect way out.
Who knows? I mean, this situation's complicated because I get her thing. She's scared because, well, she used her dad's razor. She did cut herself and bleed a little bit. She knows what her diagnosis is, and suddenly the dad having it, she's going, oh, fuck, did I accidentally do this?
Or it's what we thought originally, and she really is a whore and slept with the dad.
I think that part would have been caught on by the mom pretty quickly.
You'd be surprised. People like to look away. They don't want to accept things. I don't know, Zach. He's pretty good at the whispering of the sweet nothings.
You want me to whisper sweet nothings to you, Ishtar?
Always.
Oh, true. But Zach is saying it has to be Ishi or me who'd ask that. No.
If you really want me to whisper to you, darling, all you have to do is ask. I have no problem with doing it.
You can just keep going.
Yeah. Just do this show like this.
Uh-huh. And if you could talk in a purr or two.
Oh, you want me to purr, darling? Is that what you want?
Yes.
Both of you want me to purr.
Uh-huh. Come on, baby, purr for us.
Come on. Purr. You know you want to, Antoine.
It's actually, I just try to sexually harass Antihero as much as possible. He likes it. That's why he wants me to keep doing it.
You know, with as much as he protests, I've just got to say, you could always harass me or Wren. We'd be happy to let that happen.
I will always harass you, darling. Always.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Squishy.
All right, let's get on with it.
No, I'm liking this whole ASMR purring thing. We just need to make the show about this.
Which, here's a question there, Antoine. If I became a redhead too, and you had two redhead co-hosts, would you do an entire show in the ASMR sexy voice?
You want me to do an entire show as ASMR? It would have to be.
Voice.
It would have to be more than just two red-headed co-hosts. And
What would it
besides,
take?
I had a donation goal for Antoine ASMR, and nobody wanted it.
Which is odd. Because it's sexy as fuck.
Yes.
You know, just for you two ladies, I will do the next Florida Man article in ASMR.
I think this is going to be the first time Florida Man's ever going to turn me on.
Aw, Zach, what do you have against me being a redhead?
I would, you know what? I say go red.
Absolutely. We can be red together.
It is my favorite color.
It's only going to take me finding an additional $60 to $70, but I'll find it somehow.
All right, so we have science first. So let's go with some science.
Since we're talking about cheating spouses, the casebook of Elizabethan astrologer reveals sketchy cures for cheating spouses and devils.
Of course it does.
That's called a priapism, Zach, and you should go to the hospital. Cheating spouses, venereal diseases, and devils fill the pages of two newly digitized 400-year-old astrologer casebooks. The books belong to the rather shady astrologist and healer Simon Forman, who lived between 1552 and 1611 in England, and his protege, Richard Napier. Forman and Napier were astrologers, a role that included providing health care in the early modern period. But it was understood that celestial movements influenced human lives and bodies through hidden beams, just as today we accept that the moon affects the tides, says University of Cambridge social historian Lauren Castle in a new article accompanying the casebook collection's online posting. Astrologers like Forman understood how these forces worked, and these individuals offered cures to the afflicted, cures that could range from bloodletting to pigeon slippers, or a whole slit-open pigeon worn on each foot.
Why would you do that?
Who the fuck knows? Yes, Raystone, that is an excellent definition of ASMR. I vote for that.
Okay, so really quick, Safi says redheads are the best humans. Funnily enough, that's not true. Natural redheads are actually the least liked. It's when a woman who does not have red hair dyes her hair red, they become more attractive. This was a scientific study. I don't know where it is, but Philip
You need to find it, though, because I don't believe you.
Philip DeFranco talked about it.
You need to go and find it.
I will find it later.
It will be on stream next week. Forman was born in Wiltshire and spent time at the University of Oxford studying medicine and astrology. He survived a brush with the plague in 1592, which bolstered his reputation as a healer. 6 years of Forman's case notes, taken between 1596 and 1603, have survived. Now all those notes, constituting 80,000 cases, are available online at casebooks.lib.cam.ac.uk.
So he got a reputation for being a healer for staying away from plague-infested rats.
Yes.
Basically.
Gotcha.
The books are searchable by date, practitioner, patient symptoms, and other factors, some having to do with Forman's more unsavory personality traits, like his tendency to become a little too involved with his patients. We had to create a coding category for stalking, Castle said. Indeed, Forman was an unpleasant narcissist. The astrologer frequently attempted to seduce his patients, and little about his work stands up to modern notions of medical ethics. But the notes are a treasure trove of information about the medical and personal concerns of typical Elizabethans. Some are tragic, such as the case of 38-year-old Alice Woodward of Stoke Hammond, whom Napier saw with regard to the woman's 8th pregnancy. All but one of Woodward's previous pregnancies had ended in stillbirth, and she feared witchcraft. Other cases lay out sordid tales. The 28-year-old John Wilkinson of Olney came to Napier with a case of gonorrhea, which the man had spread to a married woman.
Oops.
Wilkinson, described by Napier as a filthy person, also had a problem with peeing blood due to a rapier injury to the urethra.
Ow!
Ow.
Yeah.
Ow! God.
Foreman and Napier consulted astrological charts in search of answers for their patients, and they also prescribed what passed for treatments at the time. According to the archive, bloodletting was one common option, though the pair sometimes prescribed herbal remedies as well, including tobacco. Some treatments were particularly unsavory, including ingesting the powdered skull of a dead man or the touch of a dead man's hand. In several cases, the astrologers recommended that the afflicted person slit the bodies of 2 pigeons and wear their carcasses on each foot. Plenty of the treatments were downright toxic, including compounds containing mercury. Many of the ailments
And you wonder why people died at such a young age back then.
Right. Many of the ailments brought to Napier and Foreman weren't physical at all, but mental. Several patients described as lunatic, and others sick at heart. In 168 cases, the patients were suicidal or had died by suicide. Sometimes these problems were blamed on witchcraft or devils. Foreman himself had a roller coaster of a career. He was banned from medical practice by the Company of Barber Surgeons and did a few stints in prison for the equivalent of medical malpractice before regaining a license to practice medicine from the University of Cambridge. He died in 1611, leaving behind a ream of scribbled notes and a window into the myth and medicine of Elizabethan England.
That's just horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. Okay, so apparently I was misunderstood. I don't not like redheads. Redheads are amazing. I'm saying that the study says...
I love redheads.
I do love redheads. The study said that natural redheads are not as attractive to normal people. It's when a normal woman dyes her hair red, she becomes more attracted. I like redheads. So, there. So, Safi was getting indignant.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Alright.
As long as Safi is not coming at you violently, you should be okay.
No, don't listen to Antihero. It's bad advice.
Why is it bad advice?
Don't stick your dick in crazy. It never ends well.
Always a bad decision. Always.
Alright, so I'm supposed to do this ASMR.
Yes, you are.
Alright, there's no segue for this. Florida woman's false sexual battery claim allegedly connected to death of Florida man.
Okay, this is not going to be sexy.
But at least it might be.
Wren, this is not going to be what we're wanting.
I know. But at least, it'll be the sexy voice.
She's got a point.
Okay.
A Florida woman's false report of a sexual assault reportedly resulted in the death of a Florida man who attempted to take a photo of her alleged attacker. According to the Smoking Gun, 30-year-old Brittany Sorey was arrested by the Largo Police Department on May 17th for a false report of a crime. The arrest affidavit for Sori states that she previously said a Hispanic male had broken into her apartment and battered her and vaginally penetrated her with a broken broom handle and a box cutter. When police again interviewed Sori...
You gotta stop. You can't do this story in sexy voice.
Why?
Just
God.
it's not working. You have to do a different story in sexy voice.
But I'm torturing anti-hero. Can I not torture anti-hero?
Not like that, no.
All right. When police again interviewed Sori, she maintained her story. The date for the initial report and the follow-up interview are unknown. Following the report, Sori and her husband, Gerald Sori, moved out of the apartment and allowed a friend to move in. According to the affidavit, the friend called Sori on May 10th to inform her that a man, later identified by police as a neighbor of Sori's, had arrived to confront her and her husband over money issues and was banging on the front door. While talking to the friend, who remains unidentified, Sori stated that the male at the door sounded like the man who had sexually assaulted her. Afterwards, the friend left the apartment intending to take a photograph of the man to provide it to police. The male attacked the friend. Ultimately, the friend killed the neighbor in self-defense during the confrontation. Upon speaking to Sori after the neighbor was killed, she told police that she had made up the story and that no assaults occurred. According to the Smoking Gun, Sori is the mother of 6 children, which is why it took a broken broom handle. When Newsweek visited Sori's Facebook account, no personal information was available regarding Sori's family, though a photo did show her with 6 children and an unidentified male. Sori was issued a bond of $150 and released shortly after she was taken into custody. That's right. All you have to do is lie, and all you have to then pay $150.
No.
Would you like me to find a different story to read?
Yes.
All right.
I think she's...
Do you want it to be Florida Man, or do you want it to be anything?
Something that will, go well with the ASMR. That is not painful like that one. Wren, I think it's your turn while he's looking.
Yes, it is. We're gonna go with a weird thing that's sweeping Austrians. Austrians told to stop kissing cows after bizarre challenge sweeps social media.
Okay.
Okay, this opens with a pun, so be prepared to cringe. It's utter madness in Austria.
Boo!
That's the writer of the article, not me. Kissing cows, with or without tongues, is all the rage in Austria, endangering the animal and those smooching them, warn officials. The disturbing trend... I have no clue. The disturbing trend has been promoted by the Swiss app Castle, which launched its bizarre cow kiss challenge to raise money for charity. But the practice has been slammed, with politicians and farm officials saying that it's creating a nuisance and could lead to people getting trampled to death by upset cows, particularly those with calves. Castle has been encouraging people in Switzerland, Germany, and Austria to kiss cows for a good cause since its Kiss Cuss challenge on Wednesday, with or without tongues. As a result, people have been filmed wandering into paddocks, approaching cows before puckering up and kissing the confused animal.
Those poor cows.
Yeah. Tyrole's state veterinary director, Josef Kostler, said this is very dangerous, especially those approaching cows looking after their calves. He added these animals must not be encountered in any way. Attracting unknown animals is irresponsible for the protection of the animal welfare.
Yeah.
So don't kiss cows.
Do not kiss cows. It's gross.
Ghost Dog 9090 says, check your PayPal when you can. He's fighting Streamlabs right now.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Check.
I will do that. Wren, find me an article to read in ASMR. You know where the hinky ones are.
Yeah, I have a knack for finding the weird Florida man.
Well, it doesn't have to be Florida man. It can be
weird news. Okay.
Yeah, it can be weird news.
In the meantime, I think it's my turn.
Yes, it is.
Be your turn.
London Dungeon staff reveals spookiest things that have happened at work, from odd whispers to ghostly figures. To celebrate London Dungeon's 45th birthday, staff have shared some of the weirdest things they've seen over the years. Working at one of the country's scariest tourist attractions, the London Dungeons would be a dream for some, but a complete nightmare for others. Staff try, and normally succeed, to scare guests while teaching them about some of the most gruesome events in the capital's history. But some of the spookiest goings-on aren't part of the script.
Okay, so Ghost Dog says, "Per for the ladies, and sorry to send it this way, I'm fighting Streamlabs right now." So, it's $5 from Ghost Dog. As requested, a per for the ladies. Thank you very much, Ghost Dog.
Ghost Dog, you are currently our favorite viewer. At least for me and Wren, because, purring.
Yeah. Found you one. I'm sending it to you there now. One.
Yes, Zach, you sent me an article. I'm not going to read about Sparky burning another raccoon.
No. No, that's mean.
To celebrate the attraction's 45th birthday, members of the team have shared some of their strangest experiences inside the dungeon walls, and they are very, very creepy, because I don't want to talk about burning raccoons. I've got a happy little squishy vibe going on over here. I don't need it ruined. Over the years, there have been a series of spooky sightings, unexplainable noises, and weird whispering. So read on if you're brave enough. Kevin Haney, Performance Operations Manager. At the Tooley Street Dungeon, I was walking through the show spaces at the end of the day and poked my head into the bedroom set to quote for persons potentially left in the show space. At the end of the set, I could see what I initially thought was one of the performance team sitting at the end of the bed in costume. It looked like a figure of a woman in a Victorian dress sitting with her hands on her lap, staring at me. I called out to tell the actor to move on, but even as I was speaking, I felt a strong sense of dread and unease and knew that, whatever it wasn't an actor that had stayed on position at end of day. Nothing happened when I called out, but the figure I could see remained in place. I stood in the doorway and stared at it for a few seconds, attempting to focus and for it to become clear as to what I was staring at. The more focused, the clearer the figure was becoming. I closed the door to the room and stood a while, trying to gather my thoughts with the intention of opening the door again in a few seconds to see that the figure had gone or that the jacket/bedding or whatever it was clearly.
How many are there? Like, how many stories of this are there?
I don't know. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.
Alright. I didn't want this to be like 30 fucking stories and...
No.
I mean, this man is obviously stoned.
Clearly. A few seconds passed and I reopened the door to look in. I could see the figure once again sitting at the foot of the bed. I then closed the door again and retreated back to the green room to find another team member. I opened the door and once again looked into the space, this time with my colleague. It was gone. She entered the room and I reluctantly followed, both of us trying to find a coat or rag or anything that I could have visually misconstrued as a figure at the end of the bed. I brought the house lights up too.
Really? Yawning on stream again?
Always.
Yes.
It's drinking game. You ask Ray Stone. I brought up the house lights too, but we could find nothing. Ben Goldsmith, performance trainer. After a PR shoot, I was here around midnight. I was dressed as Jack the Ripper, so went back up to 10 bells to put my costume back.
He was dressed like Jack the Ripper because he admires Jack the Ripper and wants to be Jack the Ripper. That man is a serial killer.
His eyes are just a little unearthly. When I opened the door, I took a step inside, and from the other side of the room, someone shh me very loudly. I was the only one in the building, so I threw the costumes and ran. Then, the next day, when telling someone what happened, a door next to us opened and slammed shut. We thought it was someone messing around, playing a joke, so went to see who was there, and there was no one. Steph Brown, performance trainer. I have a spooky story from when the seance show first came up. It was the first day that seance went live. I was playing Flora, and I was waiting in the void for the group. I had walked past the props in the Sweeney Todd room and was waiting. I then heard some whispers and noises coming from the show space. I thought I had missed a group, so went inside thinking there would be guests inside. There was no one in there, and the whispers seemed as though they were coming from the props. The audio from the show had started playing on its own really quietly. The effects in the show then started resetting themselves, popping up and down sporadically. Kai Nosik, actor. I've had it during a show where distinctly I had a deep voice close to my ear say, "Please stop." I checked. No one was in the corner, continued the show, and as the guests were leaving the show space, I checked the corner again, and nobody was there. Have also had it where, in Newgate Prison, I have heard the sounds of children laughing, which I confirmed with other actors wasn't audio. Jazz Cowler, PR and marketing executive.
She slept on her way to that executive position.
Yep. The best story I heard was probably when, in Tooley Street, one of the operations team was doing his checks at the end of the day when he saw a woman left behind in the corner after one of the show spaces. He wanted to see if she was okay and found her crying, saying that she'd lost her child and could he please help her. He, of course, goes off and tries to find the missing child, alerts the duty managers and the actors who are still in the attraction, but they can't find anyone. The guy then goes back to tell the mother, "We can't seem to find your child, are you sure?" etc., etc. But upon his return, the crying woman had vanished. Perplexed, he checks the CCTV, but he and no one else can see this woman on the cameras. Terry Mason, actor. There's one girl at Tooley Street who said she had an experience which freaked me out a bit. Really weird what she said she saw. And she said basically it was a long corridor, and at the end of the corridor she said she saw a man. And he had no shirt. So he was bare-chested and from the waist down, there was no legs. So he was like floating, and he was floating through a wall. Now that, to me, I thought that sounded really weird. So off the wall that I thought, that could be bloody true. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, because it's normal for someone to walk through a wall.
Andy Walker, general manager. There's the usual taps turning off and on by themselves that you'd expect in an old building, but there was also one instance of an external technician coming in to fit the Ouija board in our seance show, and he didn't finish the job. He ran away because he was too scared of the room. We never knew what happened because he wouldn't get back to us. He just went off the radar. Once the show was up and running, the table the board was on collapsed an unusually large number of times, despite numerous repairs. For more information and to book tickets for the London Dungeons, there's a link that you can click.
That no one can click because the link is not available for them to click the screen.
Well, I will help.
All right.
There's the article. At the bottom, you'll find the link.
All right, so Wren has delivered an article.
Of course I have.
Because, as she said, of course she has.
Mm-hmm.
Except, let me read the fucking article, Sky News. Jesus Christ.
That's Sky News for you.
Alright. So, ASMR, Sky News. Southwestern Rail investigating after worker broadcasts porn to giggling passengers.
Okay, yeah, this will be a good one.
Commuters were left bemused after what sounded like audio from a pornographic film was broadcast on a train's loudspeaker system. In a video posted on Twitter, passenger Paul Brunton captured the moment giggling travellers were forced to listen to the sexual sounds on their journey. It appeared as if a Southwestern Railway employee had accessed the X-rated material while a microphone was live, accidentally broadcasting it to unsuspecting commuters. Posting the footage, Mr. Brunton wrote, "My tube driver casually watching porn whilst leaving the tannoy system on." One woman in the video is heard asking, "Is that coming from the driver?" Amid the confusion, another answers, "No, it's someone's phone." Transport for London responded to the clip on Twitter saying, "Oh dear, thankfully not one of our trains or drivers." The video, which has received almost 800,000 views, attracted hundreds of comments from amused social media users responding with puns and innuendos. "At least someone's enjoying the commute to work," wrote one, while another added, "The grade school giggles are cracking me up." A Southwestern Railway spokesperson apologized for the incident and said the operator was investigating. Southwestern Railway has a policy of blocking inappropriate material, including pornographic websites, on its on-board and station Wi-Fi services. We are investigating this incident to establish how this material was broadcast on our service. Yesterday's incident is wholly unacceptable, and we apologize to the customers. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Alright, I will do the actual Florida Man story now. This one's actually a short one because it's basically a video.
Cool.
Alright. I will read the real quick article and then we'll watch the video. Shirtless Florida man steals highway patrol cruiser and leads a wild chase. Newly released footage shows a man stealing a Florida Highway Patrol trooper's patrol car and then weaving through traffic. At times, the chase reached nearly 150 miles per hour. Shane Jensen, 22, is accused of stealing a Florida Highway Patrol trooper's car on May 2nd. It started with a trooper noticing a shirtless man who appeared to need medical help on the side of the road. The trooper talked to him for a few minutes and then went to speak to a road ranger. Suddenly, Jensen saw an opportunity and jumped for the driver's seat. So there's a video.
Hey, where you going? Hey, where you going? Hey, hey, get out of
22-year-old Shane Jensen is accused of stealing a Florida Highway Patrol trooper's car on May 2nd. This newly released video shows the dramatic chase on the turnpike. It all started with the trooper noticing a shirtless man who appeared to need medical help.
He's not a bad-looking dude.
The trooper talks for him for a few
At least for
minutes
shirtless, yeah, it could have been worse.
to a road ranger. Suddenly, Jensen sees an opportunity and jumps for the driver's seat.
Dude is fast, give him that.
Where you going? Hey, hey, get out of
The suspect speeds away. About 10 minutes later, troopers set a roadblock, stifling traffic, and stuck in a gridlock, 3 law enforcement officers approached the stolen cruiser with guns drawn.
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
The passenger side
I'm gonna go here.
and Jensen accelerates through the road shoulder to escape. He comes across the roadblock and makes a U-turn.
Making a U-turn, he's going back north now.
Dashboard cameras show the alleged car.
This man has played
traffic
Grand Theft Auto.
120 miles per hour while troopers
One too many
chase him
times.
behind.
Yeah.
At one point, he hits 149 miles per hour. The accused thief regains control, and about a minute later, Jensen drives the cruiser over a stop strip and swerves to a stop. He jumps out, hops a median, and runs through oncoming traffic and
150
into
miles
the
an
woods.
hour.
It's the meth.
Troopers
Well,
say
at
they
that point,
eventually
you've already
caught
made the
Jensen
decision
in
to
that wooded
steal
area.
the car.
Fortunately,
So
Might
you
as well
might as
add
well.
speeding.
Chris Guardaro, Wesh 2 News.
And there we have it.
Dude's lucky he didn't get hit by a semi-truck.
I wouldn't be able to show that video if he did.
This is true.
How's it going, Damn Alien?
Hi, Damn Alien.
Alright, we got... What? It's cringe now? Cringe time?
Yep.
It's gonna be one...
Cringe.
It's gonna be one that Ishtar's going to enjoy.
Spanish couple discovers 80,000 bees in their bedroom wall.
I actually don't have a problem with bees.
Now, if it was ants, that's a different subject.
Yes, if it was ants, I would burn the house down and move out.
A couple in Spain discovered a buzzing sound that was keeping them up at night was caused by 80,000 bees in their bedroom wall. The couple from the city of Granada and
Andalusia.
had been mystified by the low humming sound emitting from their walls for 2 years, until the sound became louder as the temperature in the area rose. They called a local beekeeper for help. From about 3 months ago, there was an unbearable noise and they didn't know what to do. Beehive relocation expert Sergio Guerrero told CNN, just imagine. The experienced beekeeper was shocked that the couple managed to live with the noise for so long. With a hive that big, it's a wonder they didn't have constant buzz in their ear. I can't understand how they've been able to live with them for the past 2 years.
It tends to be something, you get used to it. It just kind of becomes white noise.
Yeah. Guerrero said the level of noise would have fluctuated based on the bees' activity, growing louder as they moved about and quieter as they worked inside their hive. He added that the hive likely grew so large due to the large number of flowers in the area, as well as the local rising local temperatures.
Believe it or not, they wouldn't have had to worry about keeping the room warm either. That many bees, it would definitely cause the room to heat up.
And I guess if it's honeybees, I could live with it. If it were honeybees, I'm like, they don't sting, so...
Not unless you threaten the hive.
If you don't threaten the hive. If you just leave them alone, it's like, whatever. Wasps would be the ones where I'd be like, fuck no, burn the house.
Well, yeah, but wasps don't make hives that big. Bees make the ones that go inside walls and they can weigh up to like 250 pounds. Wasps just have those little light paper ones that they hide under awnings and things like that. The downside with the wasp hives, though, is they are also friends with the hornet, which are just, a really pissed off wasp.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people think that wasps can die in hell. They're evil, evil little creatures. Funny story.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, my friend John and I used to go around during the summer in Southern California in bare feet with a towel in broad daylight. And we would go to our neighbors' houses that we knew, and we told them, we will take down your wasp nests for $5.
Why?
Because we were stupid. So instead of dealing with it, at a reasonable time, which is at night when the wasps are asleep and they don't really react, we went in shorts, t-shirts, and bare feet to go attack wasp nests for our neighbors. I never got stung, but my friend John, on the other hand,
Not so lucky.
not so lucky. We found one that was quite large, and it didn't have many wasps on it when we first saw it. When we came back, because it was a little high up and we needed to climb on something, because we were stupid kids, they had congregated. Well, we had already gotten the $5, so we needed to finish the job.
Mm-hmm.
So John took the towel, whipped it down, and then proceeded to run down the street because the wasps were not happy that their hive was destroyed. He came back.
Imagine not.
Yeah, he came back about 10 minutes later. He'd been stung 6 times.
Dumbass.
I, in the meantime, smashed the hive and took the $5.
Smart.
Alright, we have one science article left.
Yes. Unless you're going to do more ASMR, in which case, no.
We have one science article left.
Okay.
I don't want...
looking... I'm sorry?
I don't want Zach to upchuck his dinner too much more.
Oh, but Ishi, I sent you another one. It involves dead. It involves dead.
Is it a massacre?
Not really, but just look in your DMs. You'll see.
Okay.
What the fuck is a mud dauber?
It's a type of wasp, I think.
I don't know. I'm not stupid enough to do that anymore. Why is it called a mud dauber?
I think it's because they use mud to make their nests.
So are we not doing the prehistoric mastodon, Joe?
Hold on.
The one I sent you involves your state.
Okay.
And it involves dead bodies.
I am just checking. Oh yeah, I've heard about this. All right, the one that I'm currently doing is short, so we may have time. Teen looking for arrowheads finds prehistoric mastodon jaw instead. Experts believe the ancient jawbone dates back to 34,000 years. Sorry. Iowa City, Iowa. A teen searching for arrowheads in southern Iowa found something much bigger, the prehistoric jawbone of a mastodon. The Iowa City Press Citizen reports that the 30-inch bone belonged to a juvenile mastodon, an elephant-like animal believed to have roamed Iowa some 34,000 years ago. Officials at the University of Iowa Paleontology Repository, which now has possession of the bone found last week, say the mastodon might have stood around 7 feet tall. The farmers who donated the jaw and related bones to the repository did so anonymously, saying they didn't want to encourage people to trespass on their property looking for fossils. There are likely more fossils on the land, as the owners found other mastodon remains there decades ago.
You weren't kidding. That was a very short science article.
Yep.
Alright, send me the link for this one.
Let me bring it up. Yes, Shelly decided to walk across.
Yes.
Are you sending it on Discord?
No, I'm still on Twitter. Because that's what I currently have up.
Alright. Twitter it is.
There you go. Let me know when you're ready.
Oh god, Ben C., what are you doing?
Stuff.
I don't know, what is Ben C doing?
He sent an article where apparently a pastor baptized a VR anime girl.
Yes.
Jesus.
What? Alright. There we go.
Human composting as an alternative to burial or cremation signed into law in Washington.
Pass.
In just a few short weeks, bodies will be turned into clean, nutrient-rich soil.
Or zombies.
Washington has become the first U.S. state to allow human bodies to be turned into compost rather than being buried or cremated. Governor Jay Inslee signed into law a bill making it legal for licensed facilities to offer natural organic reduction, which turns a body, mixed with substances such as wood chips and straw, into a soil in the span of just several weeks. This is how you get haunted woods. Do you want haunted woods? Because this is how you get it.
No. How's it going, Ryder?
Ryder.
Ray Stone says it right. This is how you get Soylent Green New Deal.
Oh.
The process is based on that of livestock composting, which has been used by farmers for several years. Washington already has several green cemeteries where people can be buried without embalming, caskets, or headstones. One person hoping to profit from the new law is Katina Spade, founder and CEO of the company Recompose. Our website says that our service, Recomposition, gently converts human remains into soil so that we can nourish new life after we die. Our modular system uses nature's principles to return our bodies to the earth, sequestering carbon and improving soil health. In fact, we've calculated carbon savings over a metric ton per person.
That's a tone.
A metric ton?
Yes.
Okay.
I yeah, I want to point out that gently converts human remains. Basically, it's called a meat grinder.
Hold on a second. Shelly! Sorry, she was up on the coffee table. A test on the system was carried out in 2018 on the remains of 6 terminally ill people who donated their remains for research. The results, according to Lynn Carpenter Boggs, a soil scientist at Washington State University, was clean, rich, odorless soil that passed all federal and state safety guidelines for potentially hazardous pathogens and pollutants such as metals. Human composting is by no means a new phenomenon, although for thousands of years, religious and cultural beliefs in different parts of the world led to methods for the preservation of the bodies of the departed rather than allowing them to return to nature. However, in recent years, concerns over the environmental costs of such practices has led to increased interest in human composting.
Damn Alien says they did this at the end of Fargo.
Yeah. In Sweden, where it has been legal since 2005, one method used is to freeze dry the body, then vibrate it gently to shatter it into a fine powder that is then placed in a shallow grave and is absorbed into the soil.
So what they're saying is they use a solid bad dragon dildo.
Oh.
No.
Or they could use one of the, it did say vibrated. Yeah, powdered zombies.
But powdered zombies can't do shit because they're powder.
Yeah, but then you breathe it in and then you become an actual zombie.
Don't think it works that way.
This isn't human composting. This is just being dicks to future archaeologists.
Yep.
No, Antihero says undead nanite swarm. It's interesting. I don't know if I could do the whole composting thing with human remains. I know they say you're gently vibrated apart, but if I'm going to do that, just cremate the son of a bitch and throw them in the ocean.
That's one option. The other option is they actually compost pile your body.
No, because I don't want to be a dead tree.
I'd like to have a tree buried over my grave.
But that's how you get that's how you get a ghost tree.
Yeah?
Don't want a ghost tree.
There's also an option out there for everyone with tattoos where they could basically tan your skin to save tattoos.
Also, alternative, have yourself turned into a jewel.
Yeah, turn yourself into a diamond.
Mm-hmm.
Turn yourself into something on a record. You can make it do that. Put your ashes into shotgun shells if you really want. There's another version of cremation that involves water that's used, and it's another one of those supposed better for the environment because it uses less energy and stuff.
What I decided I wanted to have happen was to have myself cremated, turned into a gem, and then set in the hilt of a sword.
I'm going to turn the minion into a diamond tennis bracelet.
Good call.
This is true. That is green burial there, Zach. You can do that and just have a tree there.
Cremation in water. Soup. Yeah, human soup. Think of that next time you're playing with your noodles.
Don't ruin noodles for me. I will hurt you.
Fun fact, though, the stuff that comes out from the water cremation is actually some of the best fertilizers for like flowers.
Okay.
I watch a lot of dark shit on YouTube.
Apparently. So I don't know how to respond to that.
Well, it is about that time, ladies. We have all of our stories done. Even got a few extra ones in there.
Yes.
So, we have learned that Florida woman is worse than Florida man. We have also learned that Florida man likes to steal police cruisers. Toronto men like to swim naked with sharks. We also learned that Canada is not a real country. You can apparently give your father herpes from shaving your feminine area. You can also put your face... You could be the worst friend possible and put your face on underwear and make them wear it.
Happy birthday!
All in all, it's been a very interesting show, I do think.
Yes.
So
It hasn't been bad.
You're just happy because you got Antoine ASMR.
I did. I'm hoping to get more later tonight, only far more triple X rated.
Ah. So, thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and this has been MSNBC, my snarky news broadcasting channel. All of the news, none of the pants. I've been joined by my gorgeous co-hosts, Wren from Renelations and Shitlords Anonymous.
Later, guys.
As well as Ishtar from her own Twitch stream, and where she's here every Tuesday night for MSNBC.
Good night, guys.
And I hope you all join us next time, where you can, get your news with a little bit of the Tartars. Have a good night, everyone.